Hello students, in today's class you are going to study about napkin folding. You will be studying about the significance of napkin folding and the preparation of different types of folding of napkins. What is napkin folding? A type of decorative folding done with a napkin is called napkin folding. It is the art of folding table napkins for neatness and attractiveness. Napkin folding is most commonly seen as a table decoration in upscale luxury restaurants. Now, what is the significance? It adds an artistic appeal to the setting. Even a simple napkin folding can add elegance and give a new look to the table setting. The finishing touch to any table setting can be given by creative napkin folds. What does the word napkin mean? The word napkin is derived from the French word nappe, which means tablecloth. The word kin, added as suffix, indicates that the size is smaller when compared to a tablecloth. Napkins are also called serviettes. Now, what are the use? They are placed on the cover for guest use. Napkins are generally folded and placed on the left side of the cover beside the fork. Once the guests are seated at the table, the napkins are unfolded and spread on the lap of the guest by the waiters or the guests themselves. The purpose of using napkins on the lap is to protect the clothing of guests against food spillage. There are other uses of napkins too. Napkins are also used to wipe the mouth during lunch or dinner, to rub the hand to clear any food stain or smear which has accumulated on the fingers when guests use bare fingers to consume food. Now, after completion of the topic, you will be able to understand the purpose and specification of napkins, identify different types of napkin folding, and you will also acquire essential skills and knowledge in napkin folding. Now, let us see the color and fabric which is used in the making of napkins. Napkins can be chosen in many attractive colors. The colors chosen should complement the overall color scheme of the restaurant and should be in contrast to the tablecloth. In order to ensure proper control over the napkins, different colors can be used in different restaurants. Although different colored napkins are used, white napkins are the most popular in restaurants. What are the reasons for this? It is easy to detect stains in white napkins, and a clean, fresh white napkin conveys the standard of the food service establishment to the guests. The napkins have to be maintained well, for which frequent laundering has to be done. Hence, the fabric chosen for napkins should be long lasting and able to withstand frequent washing. And coming to the material of which napkins are made, cloth napkins are generally made of cotton or linen cotton mix. A few napkins can be made of synthetic materials or silk. The fabric chosen must be absorbent. In formal dining restaurants, cloth napkins are popular, while in fast foods and certain restaurants, paper napkins are used. Cloth napkins have an advantage. Apart from adding ambience and giving a feeling of luxury, cloth napkins are environment friendly too. Generally, napkins are selected in such a way that they either match or contrast the tablecloths and other table accompaniments in color and quality. Napkins can be imprinted with custom design and monograms. However, a high thread count, white, linen or linen cotton mixed damask napkin is considered most elegant. Now let us see the size of the napkins used in the restaurants. Napkins provided should have a good balance of size and utility. The napkins used in restaurants are of two standard sizes. 18-inch by 18-inch is used for lunch and 20-inch by 20-inch is used for dinner. Napkins used for dinner are bigger in size because the quantity of food and drinks served during dinner is more. This helps to take care of the increased risk of spillage with increasing quantity of food and drinks. However, napkins which are too big in size for the purpose for which it is intended will increase the load on laundry for little spills on the napkins. Most of the restaurants now use the same size of napkin both for lunch and dinner. Now next we will see how to calculate the number of napkins required in a restaurant. The number of napkins required is based on the number of covers in the restaurant, the seat turnover, that is, the number of times a seat is occupied during the operation, and also the time taken for washing. Now coming to the placement where the napkin is placed in the cover. In the restaurant, the napkins are neatly folded by the waiter and placed on the table in glasses, on side plates or in the center of the cover. This enhances the appearance of the table setup. Generally, the folded napkins are placed on side plates or in the center of the cover for lunch setup and in glasses for dinner setup. All the covers in a restaurant should have the same type of napkin fold, and the napkins should be placed in the same position in all the covers. So, napkins can be placed in the glass, or napkins can be placed in the center of the cover, or napkins can be placed on the side plate. Next, you will see what are the points to be noted while folding napkins. Square napkins should be used. The napkins should be clean and starched. And simple folds that require less handling should be used. And at every stage, the napkin should be creased well. Complicated folds should be avoided as they look unimpressive when unfolded. Now next we shall see what are the etiquettes associated with the use of napkins. Napkins should be placed only on the left side of the table setting. This facilitates the guest to pick up the napkin easily by left hand. Napkins should not be placed under the forks. White napkins symbolize formality and cleanliness. In a formal restaurant, the waiter should place the napkin on the guest's lap, which will always impress the guest. When the guest places the napkin on his lap, on his own, he must do it after settling down in his place and after placing the order. The napkin should be unfolded by guests only after the host does so. Napkin should be unfolded gently and not shaken wildly to open it. In case the napkin is larger than the lap of the guest, it has to be folded such that it covers his lap. When the napkin is used by guest to wipe his mouth, he should gently dab at his mouth. The cloth napkin should not be used to wipe sweat, to rub the nose, to scrape the teeth, clean glasses, to sneeze over, or to blot lipstick or carry leftovers. The guest should leave the napkin loosely folded on his seat or on the table to the left of his plate if he has to leave the table during the meal. The napkin should be placed on the right side of the table setting when the guest gets up from the table for easy pickup by the waiter. A good balance of size and utility of the napkins should be achieved. Now coming to the different types of napkin folding, we shall see step by step how napkin foldings have to be done. In a food service facility, the ambience can be enhanced by displaying various napkin folds which makes the guest feel welcome and conveys the message that his presence is of great value. An easy yet elegant napkin folding will definitely enhance the eye appeal of the table setting and also sets the mood for a hearty meal. Some simple napkin foldings can be done in a few minutes, even by freshers. Now we shall see the step-by-step procedure of making napkins. The first type of napkin fold we will see is pyramid fold. This type of napkin fold is simple to make and requires very less time. This fold will come out perfectly if the napkin is well starched and ironed. Now let us see the procedure how to make the pyramid fold. The napkin should be folded in half diagonally. The corners should be folded to meet the top point. The napkin should be turned over and folded in half. It should be picked up at center and made to stand on the base of the triangle. Now next let us see how to make a champagne glass fan. The first step would be the napkin should be folded in quarters. The second step in this preparation will be it should be folded in accordion style. The third step would be the bottom of the napkin should be folded on itself and placed in a champagne flute. The third type of napkin folding you are going to see today is called bird of paradise. The first step in the procedure would be the napkin should be folded in half diagonally with points on the top and facing up. The second step is it should be folded left and right sides down along the center line, turning their extended points under. The third step will be the napkin should be folded in half on long dimension with edges facing out. The fourth step will be the points should be pulled and arranged on a fabric surface. The next type of fold you are going to see is Bishop Mitre fold. In this fold, the first step will be the napkin should be folded in half with open edge towards waiter. The second step will be the top right corner should be folded down diagonally. The third stage will be the bottom left corner should be folded up diagonally and flipped over. The fourth step would be the top layer should be folded up. The next step will be the napkin should be reached underneath and the right corner pulled down. The sixth stage will be the left triangle should be tucked into left triangle pocket. It should be flipped over so that points are up. The next stage will be the right triangle should be folded over and tucked under left triangle. The last stage will be the hat should be opened and fluffed into circular shape, and then it is set on a plate. The next type of folding we will see is standing fan. In the procedure, the first step in preparing a standing fan will be the napkin should be folded in half. The second stage will be it should be folded like an accordion, starting at either narrow end. One end should be left with 2 to 3 inches of unfolded napkin to support the standing fan. The third step will be it should be folded in half with the accordion folds on the outside. The next step will be the unfolded corners should be grasped where they meet on the open end and folded in diagonally, tucking them under the accordion folds. The last step would be the napkin should be placed on the table and the pleats released to form the fan. Next type of napkin folding we will see is how to prepare a rosebud fold. In the preparation of a rosebud fold, the first step will be the napkin should be folded in half diagonally. The second step will be the corners should be folded to meet at top point. The third step will be the napkin should be turned over and folded from bottom 2/3 way up. The fourth step will be it should be turned around and corners brought together, tucking one into the other. The last step will be the napkin should be turned around and made to stand on base. Now let us see how to prepare a buffet style of napkin folding. In a buffet style, the first step will be the napkin should be folded in half with the open end oriented towards the waiter. The second step will be it should be folded into quarters. The third step will be it should be oriented so the open corner is facing away and to the right. The topmost layer of napkin should be folded diagonally down to the center and pressed flat. In the next step, the same layer should be rolled down as shown. In the next step, the next layer corner should be taken and folded to meet the first fold. The next step would be the same layer should be rolled down and tucked underneath the first layer. The next step will be the napkin should be turned over. The left side should be folded back about 1/3 of the way and pressed down. The right side should then be folded back to meet the left hand fold and tucked underneath the flap. It should be pressed with an iron. Then it should be flipped over and the silverware inserted into the buffet style of napkin fold. Now next we will see how to prepare an atrium lily type of napkin folding. To prepare this type of fold, the first step will be the napkin should be folded to bring bottom up to top. The second step will be the napkin should be folded to the top. The third step will be the bottom should be folded point up to 1 inch below top. The fourth step will be the point should be folded back onto itself. In the next step, each of the points should be folded at top down and tucked under edge of folded up bottom and folded down one layer of top point and tucked under base fold. The sixth step will be the napkin should be turned over and tucked left and right sides into each other. Finally, the base should be opened and made to stand. Now, the next type of folding we are going to see is how to prepare an envelope type of napkin folding. In this folding, the first step will be the napkin should be folded in half. The second step will be on the right hand side of the napkin, both corner edges should be folded towards the center to form two triangles. In the third step, the left side of the napkin should be folded over in half to meet the right. The last step will be both triangle layers should be taken and folded over to create the napkin envelope type of fold. Now let us see how to prepare a napkin fold in the shape of a sail. To prepare this, the first step would be the napkin should be folded in half. The second step will be the top right and left corners should be folded down to form a triangle. The third step will be it should be folded along middle seam and made to stand up on the plate like a sail. The next type of napkin folding you are going to see is called the diamond pouch. To make this type of folding, the first step is the napkin should be laid face down. The second step will be it should be folded in half and the open end oriented towards the waiter. The third step will be the napkin should be folded into quarters. The fourth step will be it should be oriented such that the open end faces away from the person. The next step will be the topmost layer should be folded all the way forward and pressed down flat. In the next sixth step, the next topmost layer of napkin should be folded forward as far as the previous one and pressed down well. The edges should be even with the previous fold. In the next step, the next layer should be folded back as before. Then the napkin should be turned over. Finally, it should be folded both sides back and over one another about 1/3 of the way, checked for symmetry and pressed at the fold well. Now let us see how to prepare a pinwheel type of napkin folding. To prepare this type of fold, the different stages are given. The first stage will be all the tips of the napkin should be folded into the center. Next, the two opposite edges should be folded towards the center, creating a rectangle. In the next step, the two short edges of the rectangle should be folded towards the center. Now, one flap should be taken and one of the edges should be pulled out to make a point. The same should be repeated with the second flap. With the right flap, it has to be pulled down. The napkin should be turned around and the steps 5 to 6 should be repeated to finish up the pinwheel napkin fold. Now next let us see how to prepare a rose type of napkin folding. To prepare this rose type of fold, the first step would be all the tips of the napkin should be folded into the center. Next, the napkin should be turned over and the outer corners folded in so they meet at the center once again. The third step will be, once all of the tips are folded, there will be a square about 1/4 the size of the unfolded napkin. A sturdy object like a glass tumbler should be placed in the center. And then downward pressure should be maintained in the center of the napkin, and it should be reached underneath each corner and the flaps pulled out to create petals. The flaps should be pulled out on all 4 corners of the napkin. Finally, the center weight should be removed and the rose is finished. Now, we have come to the end of the session on napkin folding. And by the end of this class, you would have got an insight into what is the meaning of napkin folding, how the word napkin originated, and where different types of napkin foldings are used. You have also come to understand the purpose, the need, or the significance of using napkins in different restaurants. We have also covered about the specifications of napkins, that is, the color of napkins used in the restaurant, the fabric of which napkins are made, and the number of napkins which are required in a restaurant, and the factors on which the number of napkins required are based. We have also identified, seen about 12 types of napkin foldings. We have covered the step-by-step procedure of preparing the napkin foldings, such as the pyramid fold, the champagne glass fan fold, the bird of paradise napkin fold, and also how to make the bishop mitre fold, the standing fan fold, and the napkin fold in the style of a rosebud, in the buffet style, in the napkin fold in the form of an atrium lily, in the style of an envelope, and you have also seen the step-by-step procedure to prepare napkin foldings in the shape of a sail, as a diamond pouch, in the form, and a little complicated folds like the pinwheel and the rose. So, this class overall would have given you an overview about how the different types of napkin foldings are made, the significance of different types of napkin folding.